All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to August. It's a episode fill in the blank here of my life in Poland on the map Szpakowo, and the grass is growing. So that worked. We planted the grass. It's so weird though. It says needs lime. That one section there, I think. Okay, it says everything needs lime. Yeah, okay. I mean, we're not ideal there, I guess. And we do need to put another layer of fertilizer in. It's a new month now. Actually, we can come with the sprayer, I think, and spray it. The liquid fertilizer. So I think we'll do that. Oh, actually, you know what? We might do that right away so I don't forget because I may forget otherwise. Anyways, yeah, it's growing. But the weird thing is I bought a roller. I bought a grass roller. It says needs rolling and it wouldn't roll. So I wonder if I can roll it now. In its current stage of growth, our field over in, Millionaire's Row over here, I guess it doesn't need rolling. This section needs rolling, which I tried to roll and it didn't roll. Yeah, and I got a weird spot here. I definitely fertilized these. This section was fertilized. So anyways, we'll figure it out. Once we get through the first cut of grass, we're going to be planting something else anyways. Combination of oats and barley, I guess, so it won't matter. But anyways, yeah, so it was a busy second. We're going to go get the sprayer, so we'll chat while we take this probably. Yeah, it was a busy second day of June, I'll tell you that much. I managed to get no big contracts. They were all, 3,000, 2,000, that kind, those kind of contracts. But there was a mowing contract, cultivating contracts, spraying fertilizer. And then I finished off with something that almost killed me. It was a wheat harvest. I think it was a wheat harvest. And the farmer said I could take the straw. So smart me, I'm like, perfect. So I dropped the swath. I baled it all up and basically picked it all up and I basically sold the bales. Made probably $6,000 in money. $6,000 in money. $6,000 off the sale of those bales. It took me forever. So I noticed a few problems. So we'll get into that as we go. The canola is ready to go. That's going to be quick. It's a pretty small field. And once that's done, these two fields will get planted canola. So that'll happen today, but we're going to go spray that other field first probably. I think I swapped this out after. So this is the header that was for sale, that Lek had for sale. So I sold him back my 4 shits header and trailer and bought this. So that cost me some money. This is good, but man, the capacity is really challenging, that 3,500 liters. You're constantly having to empty it, and it needs to be cleaned. So that was a challenge. The Landini and its 60 horsepower or whatever it is, it's so underpowered, it's brutal. It was creating a lot of problems for me. So anyways, I had all my tractors working. Even this one brought the header trailer over. But I had everything working for me, and it took me a long time to get done. So I do want to keep my eyes open for a replacement for the Landini. Something I can put narrow tires on, loader arms, and something with more power, and then the Landini would go up for sale. And then it would also be nice if we could get bigger bales. But anyways, yeah. So here's the grass roller I bought, of which I've not been able to roll anything yet. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what that's all about. But yeah, it was a tough end to June. What happened last time I saw you? Oh, last time I saw you guys, I was on my way into a party. Man, I can't even begin to tell you how much has happened since that. So I had a great time, actually. Maria's sister turned out to be pretty nice. She had quite a few friends over, so we had a good party, good DJ. It was great having a few beers with Lek. He's a good guy. We really got along well. So yeah, I got along well with Maria's sister there. So we actually went out for a coffee in the second day of June there, which was kind of nice. Then I got a phone call afterwards, and it was from somebody claiming to be Maria's sister's ex-husband, and he was none too happy. He was full of threats and anyways. Let me just, I'll just say I have a suspicion that I may have pissed off the wrong people. But anyways, I respectively told him off and hung up the phone, and that was that. But yeah, and then so last night while I was asleep, somebody pulled into my driveway, and I mean, you can see where I'm at. Like, I'm back here in like the back laneway. So for somebody to pull in the driveway was a little shocking because that's never happened. Anyways, they pulled in the driveway, and I was just flooded. They must have put the high beams on and shine them through the window there. And yeah, anyways, it was a little unnerving because I'm literally just back here, you know, not really worried about my safety, but I'm worried about my safety, if you know what I mean. So anyways, that was not cool. So I asked Lek to kind of give me the lowdown on what I might have got myself into. I didn't even do anything, man. We literally just had fun at the house party and then went out for coffee. So we'll see what that's all about. But apparently, well, anyway, sorry, I'm waiting to hear back from waiting to be able to chat with Lek to find out what I might have stirred up there. All right, we're not changing the color of anything in the map there. I mean, it's telling me the nitrogen's perfect, and the nitrogen is the fertilizer, right? Maybe this does not need fertilization. I mean, by the map, it sure looks like it does. It ain't green, that's for sure, but whatever. All right, we'll just work with that. So, on tap, we got to harvest that canola field. We got to get the... I'm gonna pull the straw off it. I might as well. I don't think we're gonna make... I don't know. Should I pull the straw off it? Should I just dump the straw back into the field? Maybe I'll just dump it back into the field. What do I get? 1 bale from it? But yeah, we got to deal with that field there. I think I can plant canola today. Yeah, today's also the first day of planting. So we'll harvest, we'll plant both those fields and make sure they're sprayed for weeds and all the stuff we need to do. The field down at the far end, where we have the toxic pond and the trees, that field is ready to mow, and then as soon as we mow that field, we can expand, which is good. We'll expand that to be a bigger field, and then I don't know whether I plant something completely random down there or whether we do the kind of like barley oat, juggling act there. We've got silage bales we need to sell. We also have apple juice we need to sell, and we've got a real estate market to check out, and we have a Walter to make a payment to, which I'm going to do that right now because I always forget. All right, so we'll pay him 10 grand. Down to $70,000 now. Speaking of Walter, this gentleman claiming to be Maria's sister's ex-husband, one of the things he said was that I better leave or there'll be trouble. So I felt like I needed to explain to him that before I could go anywhere, I needed to pay a nice older British man in the Oakbridge Farms area. I needed to pay him for the money that he funded me to move here before I could consider leaving at all. And but then I thought I just better not try to explain that because that won't make any sense. And this guy was just pissed off. But how bad could it be, right? Anyways, what I think I might also want to look for is security cameras, fencing, a gate, just general all-around protection. That's some fluffy plants, man. So this obviously won't be a huge, money maker for us because we're not necessarily working the biggest piece of ground here, but that the field beside it should be decent, and then we can probably just store this canola. I doubt it's ready to sell, but we could store it right into the silo that we have here on the corner. So field work, sell silage bales, sell apple juice, hopefully work with Lek to find a solution for this Landini, because I honestly don't want the thing anymore. I just want to make a change because it really killed me when we were working that other field. And then not much on the contract front. I would have thought there'd be more like harvest contracts and that, but I didn't see anything. So I think I mentioned in the last episode that my buddy over there in the Palanier area was bugging me to come over and help him. And I'm half thinking that if the heat, if I start catching too much heat from this dude that phoned me, then maybe I'll go spend a few days over there just to kind of get out of the kitchen, so to speak. It's funny with this harvester. I think I mentioned there was a Kloss that Lek managed to find just after I bought this and got started on the harvest. So now there's also a New Holland that I think is like $34,000. So it's like all the work that he put in to source these things, it's all starting to pay off, but it was a little bit too late. So I mean, other than capacity, I'll be fine with this for now. I just have to be ready to empty it often. All right, there we go. I'll fire this header back onto the trailer, and then we'll probably go, I don't know where I'm going to put this thing. Kind of want to make sure it's safe because it is important to us. I probably should check the prices because maybe we could have just directly sold it, but I'll check those prices afterwards. But yeah, I think we should jump into the real estate market right now and see what's available. All right, so we'll start today as usual with the flip to see what we're going to be dealing with as far as the market is. Heads, it's an up market. Uh-oh. So it has to be a really good opportunity. That just means we're going to have to pay a 10% premium if we decide to buy a piece of property. All right, well, let's see how many properties we're going to get a chance to bid on. Somewhere between 1 and 5. And it looks like we're going to have a chance to bid on 5. Yep. All right, and like I always mention, we're going to spin for 5. And if I happen to find out afterwards that I own one of the ones we spun for, then we'll just spin again. But let's see what the first one is. 192. That sounds familiar. 158. 175. And the second last one here, it is 206. And last but not least, we are looking at property 217. All right, well, 192 is a grass field. We're looking at 1.74 acres, and it's down behind. This is the sawmill. So it looks like you have to kind of access it through a road behind the sawmill, which is kind of interesting. We could go check that out. I mean, it's $42,000. Not the worst, but it's definitely nowhere close to what we got. Actually, it's funny. I forgot that we own 231, so we'll go check on the trees there, but we could potentially sell that if we wanted. I mean, we committed to replanting it, so we could flip that field if we really wanted. It's kind of out of the way, and then maybe we can actually, you know what, if we did that, if we flip this, actually, yeah, we're going to get a 10% premium for it. So if we flip that for $82,000, we can put that money into helping us replace the Landini. We could do a bit of an equipment upgrade actually and spoil ourselves a bit. So okay, well that's 231. Let's remember this 82 plus 8, so it's like 90 grand we're going to get. Anyways, 192, we could go check that out. 158 is a massive field at $446,000. Yeah, you know what? I was feeling it, but I think I'm going to pass this time. Also, not a big fan of the, whatever these things are called, the lines, tram lines. Not a big fan. All right, speaking of woods lots, 175 is a $95,000 woods lot, 2 acres. I mean, that's interesting. We could definitely go and see what the tree potential is, and then look at whether or not it's something we could flip the same way as the other one, right? Deforest it and then completely replant it, but not a high priority. We're cash farmers here. That would take me days to forest that. All right, 206 is another woods lot at 1.7 acres. It's 83K. Not a farming field, but definitely a forestry lot. All right, we may have seen this one before. 217 is 40 grand, 1.6 acres. It's got something red in it. Red beets. God, that are ready to harvest. Jeez. Blech. So I don't know. 217, $40,000. It's way out of the way though. I think that's too far out of our way. So perhaps the only potentials there really 175 at $95,000 and 192 behind the sawmill. All right. Well, for now we're gonna go park this up with the rest of our equipment. And we will think about it. I didn't really need to bring the trailer down there, did I? There was really no carting necessary. That guy just made my day way harder. Those civilians. Alright, well this should fit where I had that trailer parked. Alright, I'll go run and get the Fiat, and then we'll grab the baler and get the straw out of the way. So definitely not necessary to replace the Landini today, because I don't know that we really have any major need for. Oh, there's crops there. I don't know that we have any major need for it immediately. All right, let's go get the straw baled up. What are you thinking? One bale? I don't think canola. Well, I know in the base game canola doesn't give off any straw, does it? That's a straw add-on or whatever the mod's called. But I don't think it gives you the fattest rows. The other thing, there's a baler that is on sale right now. I think it's like a $50,000 round baler that's on for like 20 grand. I wonder what we would get for this baler. The only reason why I suggest it is, well, first of all, it looks larger, so I'm assuming it has a bigger, wider pickup. but it also does the larger round bales. So not just these. I mean, this is like the 120 centimeter or something like that, whatever the smallest bale is. So the other one does this, but also does the bigger bales. I think if you're wrapping, I don't know whether I need the smaller bales to wrap them, but the straw bales could be the bigger bales. Just mean less handling of bales, really. Let me jump out for a second. I'll get this field baled up, and then I'll talk to my. I'll get a hold of the realtor at the same time. I don't even think we have to go look at our field. I think we'll just put it on the market and take the money. All right, looks like 2 bales. This is the second of 2. Big money. All right, well, we'll get this put away. I don't think I have to do anything else. This is a direct drill that I got, and I think I can pretty much just bring the seeder back and slam the canola into the ground. We'll put the canola in the ground, we'll spray it, and then we'll roll it. And then our canola will be good to go. So I really should look at putting a fence around this yard here, but I mean the beauty of this is I have drive-through access with that covering, right? But if I put a fence around this, I don't have that anymore. Which, whatever, I guess in the end it is what it is. But hold on, we gotta send the Landini over there quickly just to pick up those bales. I would say maybe I should pass by the store and see what Lek will give us for this Landini, but first of all, it's filthy, and second of all, if he doesn't have a decent used option, I don't know that I'd want to jump on anything right away. So there's no sense getting him excited about the Landini if there's nowhere for me to go, right? I think we'll just grab these bales and take them right to the sale point. It's been such a quirky tractor, but it literally has no power. Oh yeah, we definitely need the loader arms today too, because I'm seeing those bales. We have a whole bunch of bales that need to be sold. Well, we're actually going to have some money today. The land sale was not exactly, as they say, on my bingo card. But yeah, it was really doing us nothing other than just growing trees, which, you know, maybe one day it'll have trees and it'll come up to the spin again, and then we'll just buy it again or whatever. But I knew we were going to be able to sell silage and apple juice today, so I knew there was definitely going to be some money coming in. But that extra, $90,000 was not necessarily in the forecast. All right, so we'll head up here to Derek's place so we can drop these bales off. He's always looking for straw bales, which is good. Just thinking about our lot down there by the toxic pond and the apple trees. That when we expand that field, if we're going to be utilizing the strategy where we alternate grass and something there, which I think could either be barley or oats, that would probably mean that we should plant it in, fully plant it in grass right away. Oh shoot, because then we'll get that cut later this year. Is it too late? Maybe it might be too late anyways. But worst case is we'll get a full cut in the spring before we replant, with cereal crops. Call it $400. All right, out of curiosity, let's go see what Lek will give us for the Landini. Just out of curiosity, so we know what we're working with. No sense guessing, right? I mean, we can look up market value all day long, but what we need is a check writer. We need somebody that tells us, I'll give you X amount of dollars for it and I'll pay you now, not, an auction report or whatever. I always think auction reports are definitely a reasonable guide, because you can see the transaction price of something, but you don't know how many people were at the auction that day. You don't know what the condition of the thing was. The people that were there, who knows? It could have been in Toronto, and the Toronto Maple Leafs could have lost in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs the night before, and everybody felt like crap and nobody wanted to bid, and that's why it got such a low price. But meanwhile, it's worth way more. Who knows, right? I think if we sell this thing too, and we're buying another small tractor, these loader arms can get reused, and so can the weight, which is good. Probably need to get pallet forks though, because I've been cruising around with these death spikes. Ooh, so it needs a $4,500 repaint, which, okay, let's say without the repaint, sure, we can repair it for 26 whole doll hairs. So basically, Lek's going to give us $9,000 for it. If we painted it, we'd get more than 13.5 or whatever that works out to. Let's assume we're gonna get, call it 9,000 bucks. And right now he has, this is more money than we'd want to spend on something, but what is this piece of madness? This is for the red beets. Yeah, so I don't think he's got anything used. Ooh, look at this. The Zetor. I'd buy another one of these. I'm almost tempted, if we do another survival series, to start with one of these again like we did on Hinterland. All right, but it was a baler that I was looking for. He had a baler in here. This John Deere wouldn't be too bad, to be honest. Oh, narrow tires, that says. Okay, so we could, yeah, and look, quickie hitch. So we could actually buy this. 175 horsepower. That is a massive difference from what we had. It's got the front linkage. I mean, the only thing we'd be paying money for is the narrow tires. And we're going to get 9 for the Landini. So, I mean, that's like 35 grand basically. $36,000. We have 100. Yeah, here's the baler. So at 66% off, this thing was what, 50 grand basically, a little more than that? Yeah, that looks like it's a wider pickup. We don't need the fire extinguisher. We don't really care about stuff like that. If we're not getting the fire extinguisher, we could get the beacon light. It already comes filled with the net. I wonder if we can empty ours. All right, I'm digging all the additions, but that's not necessary. Yeah, see, I'm liking that. So that's 25,000 bucks. And we can make the 180 centimeter round bales. So we can make up to 180 centimeter. If we make 150 centimeters, we can still wrap them. I don't know what we're going to get for our baler, but I think we'll probably sell that. I wonder if we sell this, we'll sell the Landini and we'll pick up that John Deere. I'm not a John Deere guy, but you know what? I think we do that. So I'm hoping we can do 150 centimeter bales. I'm hoping this means 125 to 180. Put the beacon light on it. We're good there. All right, let's do this. Let's drop the weight. Yeah, this is a moment. We're going to say goodbye to the Landini here. And it's raining. Great. We'll grab the baler and we'll sell them together. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm sure based on the fact that we had a Landini on Saving Uncle Pete, we had a Landini here on My Life in Poland. I imagine wherever we end up in life, Landini will find us. This little ugly bugger seems to find us everywhere we went. I like the one my Uncle Pete had better. It didn't have the dual wheels, but we just sort of needed those here. And I think the only reason we had the dual wheels is because this is the way it was for sale. Right? Because we could have had dual wheels. I think I would have had to pay a premium to not get the duals. It seemed kind of weird. All right, well, let's go and see what happens here. All right, we know we make a couple extra bucks, some chump change if we do paint these things, but you know what? I'm not going to bother. So let's sell 5,300 bucks. That's actually more than I thought. Just like that, she gone. So, and the nice thing is too, I have a. This is a. I mean, as much as I'm not a Deere guy, this is an upgrade because now I can attach the. Can I attach the just loader arms to this? Shoot, that would suck if I couldn't. It did say quickie attacher though. Okay, these don't touch the ground. So this is. I need bigger loader arms. Crap. Okay, well let's see about that right away because I don't want to have to suffer. I was gonna say because now that I have the front attacher and the PTO on this, I can put the weight on the front with the arms on it. But yeah, all of a sudden I have more flexibility to do things because I got that front PTO and the 3-point on the front. All right, so this is the Q4M. All right, 8,500 bucks. But at no additional cost, you can match them to the tractor because that's important. All right, well, we're down to 40 grand, but I think this is a substantial upgrade. This is going to help us quite a bit. Even though, like I said, I'm not a John Deere fan. I do like the John Deere mods when you can change the colors completely. All right, so see what I mean? You can throw the weight on the front and still put the arms down. This baler is massive compared to the last one. All right, we already have round bale net, 150 centimeter bales. All right, well, and we know, so we can put this thing to the test right away. So I said we were gonna put seeds in the ground up at the top for the canola, which yes, that's true. I've got the mower down at our other yard, so we might as well, let's go mow that up right now. We'll mow it, we'll bale it. I mean, we can even wrap it and move the bales, and then we'll cut the field, and then we'll have basically all, and then we can do all of our seeding at once. What is sticking out of the back of this thing? Why is there something sticking out of the back of this roller? Baler, sorry. I guess while we're down here, we might as well sell that. The reason why we got to keep selling that apple juice is because people keep buying it, so we're selling it into our own, we're basically selling it to ourselves into our own business there, the market stand, but people just keep buying this stuff. All right, did you watch the last episode? Did you see the old piece of airport equipment? Still don't have a trailer. Gotta get a trailer. Not a big trailer, just a small one. It's definitely one of the crazier things that we own. That's like, what, 12.6, 12.7? That's what we like to see. Making money. This would be a funny thing to do, a starting from scratch with, just this. Good, we're getting all this done before everyone in town realizes they actually need some work done. Ooh, that is bright. Man, look at us. Oh, I gotta get that weight off the front. So the one thing, yes, it's good. It's fine for transporting, but every time you put a weight on the front or you put a weight in between you and a trailer, just weird things can happen. So I don't usually like to keep it like that, but I seem to have forgotten to take the front weight off. So maybe when we make a pass on our, before we head around again, I can get that weight off. You guys using this Bednar Batwing mod from Gaming Joy? If you're not, you should go look it up. It's on the mod hub. I'm a huge fan of this thing. There's so many modes to it. I just use the mowing side of it, but there's mulching and destruction modes and a bunch of other things that will make your overall farming life way easier. So I can't remember, did we plant this grass? Or was this grass already planted? If we planted it, then the yield should be pretty decent yield. But if it was just or if it was already here, not map grass, but if, I mean, it's a grass field. But if someone else was responsible for putting it in, or AI or whatever, then we may not be getting a lot of bales here. Actually, that field over there is the one we harvested. Oh, that was painful. It wasn't even a huge, it was a fair sized field, but it wasn't massive. The job paid $9 grand. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so that just lets it down slowly. I don't think I've ever seen an exit strategy like that for a baler. If I had more money, I would have got one of the special edition ones. Even just the first special edition where it was like old crone or whatever, it looked really cool. Turning radius is a little bit, leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's like the tractor's too close to the actual implement here. They might be 5,500 liter bales, and I think what it is, I believe the like silage or like the grass or silage bales are always what are they? 3,000 liters? I don't know. And these ones, it looks like these are 5,500 liters. Tiny bit more. Let's see if this is it. All right, well, that one's like 5 liters short of a full bale. Okay, well, let's get this out of the way. I'll get the... Oh, you know what I'll do? I guess what we'll do is we'll just stack the bales over here for now. I do need to get them wrapped, actually. All right, this area is getting a little ridiculous. We have to... we're going to need a solution. Ideally, what we need is another piece of land right near this, but no, there's been nothing for sale. And my apologies if I... kind of like lost the train of thought. I ended up having to do something there. So this is about an hour later as when we left to come and get this, come and get the wrapper. Oh, we got everything in the way here. All right, so let's do this. Let's move this over here. I wouldn't mind comparing the Fiat next to, where is it? Let's put it next to the John Deere and see how they stack up. What was the John Deere? 160 horsepower. Now we got 175 horsepower. I still like the Fiat way better. That's much more my style of tractor. But man, this little John Deere is going to be pretty capable, I think. All right, so we'll just kind of block this baler in here for now, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is a great combo. So now we can put I left the weight and I left the loader arms back, so we can put the wrapper on the front, and then that'll make it easier for us to bring the trailer over, and then we can pick the bales up. God, hopefully this rain lets up here, otherwise it's going to be a little bit, the field work's going to be a little bit muddy. Just going to kind of stick these off to the side right now. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that this thing, when it's elevated, when it goes to drop a bale, it actually turns it on its side, which I think is a little bit easier to work with. It's nice pulling these bigger bales off. They, yeah, I think that's really going to help us. We can just make less bales. Everything's about handling less material, I think. Getting more material, but making sure that it's condensed into easier to handle pieces. All right, so we'll get this last bale. I'm not even going to worry. Well, if the loader arms are over here right now, then we'll pick these. Actually, we really don't even need to put these on the trailer right now. We can just let them ferment over here. I don't know why I brought the trailer, to be honest. I could just let these ferment right here. They're not in the way, and then we'll go grab the cultivator. We'll put this wrapper away. We'll go grab the cultivator, and then we'll come over here and we'll dig ourselves up a field. Do I need anything else? I don't need the loader arms. I guess I got to move the trailer. I don't necessarily need the trailer down here, so let's just get that out of the way. This is actually this portion of the film is taking place a day or two later. Actually, 2 days after recording. Remember when we were on our way? We picked up the wrapper and we were on our way over to that field. Yeah, this is like 2 days later in real life. So if I forget the odd thing, my apologies. All right, we gotta thread the needle here to get this cultivator out. Let's see if that's even possible. I guess when you're a highly skilled driver like myself, anything is possible. All right, well, let's breeze through the next step here. So get this thing cultivated, get the seeds in the ground. We got to get grass seeds and we got to get canola seeds in the ground before the day's done. I have not been checking my messages, and I know there's been some attempts to reach me from some of the other farmers. I'm sure people are looking for help right now. As I'm driving around, I'm seeing a lot of fields that look like they're ready to harvest. So I can only imagine there's the odd person who's shorthanded right now, but I just got to get this work done. Now, the more activity we have going on, the less I can actually help, which doesn't really help our bank account, but you know what? I got to get this done. All right, so this is a moment I've been waiting for. You know what? Let's start from the bottom corner here. Let's try to keep this neat and organized. I want to get as much farmable ground here as I possibly can without creating any problems for myself. So that means I will come over to the fence a little bit more here. We might get a little bit of that toxic runoff into our crops. Maybe it'll boost the yield. Yeah, let's just get it back there. This could prove for some adventures in harvesting later on when I'm trying to get the harvester close to these obstacles. But yeah, much like that other corner field, let's just expand the ever-living crap out of this and give ourselves a ton of farmable space. We don't need to get too close to the trees here. I think pulls okay. I want to say the Fiat maybe pulled a little faster. Is that a possibility? Maybe it's because I have these narrow tires on. They don't look very narrow, but they're definitely narrower. And nice to see that the graphics are keeping up with the activities. All right, the temptation to basically cultivate right into the creek is there. I got to make sure we don't do that, obviously. We may need to take out some branches here at some point. I guess this officially becomes sort of the second of our larger fields. Oh, look at that. That corner's going to be a little dicey. Yeah, I think that corner lot of ours is still the largest space. The new lot, too, actually, from last episode is a reasonable size also. I can't say that we're going to buy any of the properties that popped up in this month's real estate market. I mean, it doesn't help that everything is that we're in an up market anyways. I got to pay a premium, but there was nothing that I really had to jump on. If I had a connecting piece of land that allowed us to double our size or something, like our old corner lot there, where remember the first sliver we had where we put canola in it. If I got the field next to that, then I could jump on that. I could pay a premium for that. Got a traffic jam over there. But yeah, I think for the stuff that came up, I can't see paying a premium for any of it. All right, before we go and grab the cedar, I can almost guarantee that we're going to need to put lime down here. And then we'll get the field data so we know exactly what's going on over here. Those guys are always accessible. I think they got an office in town here. They seem to show up at the press of a button. All right, let's see how much we have in the pallet over here. Hopefully enough to fill us before, so we can get this done. Okay, not too bad. Oh. That was exactly enough to fill this and finish off the pallet. Yeah, so I never bought the data in this corner just because I was waiting to expand that field. So this will be, it's a bit of a mystery. So I'm going to just tuck this back beside the silo here. Hopefully it'll be enough to keep it out of the elements. But hopefully it's not so much that we don't remember where we left it, because that's possible. All right, so hopefully while I go get the... oh my god, look at the traffic over here. I knew we saw a traffic jam. I think I can sneak around this side. So while while we're over here grabbing the cedar, the guys will likely be by to get the soil data processed for us. So hopefully by the time we're back, we'll know what's going on. I don't want to spike this lady with my bale spikes there. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry, I got a call coming in from Lek here. Let me grab that and we'll meet up again while we're seeding. Whew, okay, that was a bit of a phone call there. Wow. So yeah, my apologies. I kind of gapped out there after talking to Lek. I had to take some time just to sort of ponder that conversation. So I went ahead and brought the cedar over here, and we now have grass in the ground here, which is good. So I got that done. We're going to go down and do those canola fields next. But yeah, that was... So I don't have all details yet. Lek's got some more digging to do, but yeah, things don't look good. I don't know what... oh crap, I got to get this done, don't I? I've learned my lesson when it comes to driving through town with this thing and not having it in transportation mode. Yeah, so I feel like I'm in a bit of a cloud right now. So yeah, so anyways, definitely my assumptions about pissing off the wrong people were not wrong, and the sort of what might have been taken as maybe somewhat idle threats or threats with nothing necessarily behind them are far more than what I could have hoped. So basically, what Lex managed to find out after doing some digging is that I could be in for some problems here. He basically told me that I should make sure all of my stuff was secured. So he's got a guy who's going to go out and look at my lots right now and see about putting some fencing in for me. That's not cool. I said, man, please hook a brother up. So there's that. He said, you're probably at risk of maybe somebody messing with your stuff. But even worse is that the ex of Maria's sister there seems to be connected to all the right people for him, but the wrong people for me. So meaning the police are likely on the payroll, the local council are all related in one way or another, and I could be in for some problems. He couldn't apologize more. He had said to me that I mean, remember when there was some thought that Maria's sister might be a problem? Well, he said in the past he's seen kind of funky things go on, but never heard the narrative that he's hearing now, in that there could be some physical danger. So just preemptively or proactively, Lex, basically I said, look, Lex, I can't just leave town. That doesn't really work that way. I got some obligations to Walter. I have what has started to be a bit of a life here, which I kind of look forward to building. Oh, wait a minute, this is gonna get lower, doesn't it? So leaving right away was not necessarily something that I had considered, but he's gonna take a look at my my land holdings and sort of what I have right now as far as equipment. I asked him, I said, well, look, okay, let's say for example I had to make a break for it, right? What options do I have? I've got a bunch of stuff here. I've got land. I've got whatever. He said, well, as far as the land is concerned, he can probably work a deal out with me. Because it's a bit of a fire sale, he's not going to be able to give me everything maybe that the stuff would be worth. But if I leave with these land holdings still in my name, then I may, especially with the ties to the council, I may see that stuff just vanish and never get the benefit of the value. So he's going to take a look at those holdings and we're going to sort of determine if there's a number. But between the equipment that I have and the land holdings, perhaps we can get Walter paid off, and then maybe I just said, like, give me a package where I can basically take as much physically out of here as possible. I said, I don't want to leave my Volvo. I don't want to leave my Fiat. There's some, it's all stuff, so I'm not necessarily attached to it. But, if I did have to make a break in the night, I'd need some way to transport everything. So some type of, low hold, whatever those like big flat trailers that I could tow maybe behind like a transport of some kind, would be good. And by transport, like a semi truck or something. So I don't really have a license for it, but you know what? I'm also a Canadian in Europe who may be in trouble, so I don't really give a shit. I may just want to get myself out of here. So, anyways, I'm gonna get these this field planted, and then Lek and I are gonna have another conversation. So, for now, we're just gonna try to enjoy the rest of our day. This is all sort of preemptive. He said, you know what? He's hearing things. Whether or not all of this stuff comes to fruition is another story. He hasn't seen or heard this much chatter before, as far as negative or violent or whatever. So he said I must have really pissed this guy off. So that's all good, man. I'm good. So when I got off the phone with Lek, I didn't really know who else to call, so I called my buddy over there in Palinier, and it turns out that. First of all, he said, yeah, man, come on over anytime you need. We'll provide safe haven over here in France. And hopefully whatever problems, come up here, if I did happen to go hide out there for a bit, hopefully they don't follow me. But anyways, he's got kind of a standing, well, he's basically got to get back over to Canada for a period anyways of a couple months, to help out with some family stuff, but he just hasn't been able to find anybody to kind of watch over his stuff, or depending on when that period of time is, somebody that can actually do any of the work that needs to be done. So he said, maybe this is a moment where both of us, this could help both of us, where I could hide out, help him get some of the stuff done around the farm that he needs while he's gone, and while I try to figure out what the next step is. So I don't want to move to France. I have no desire to move there, but you know what? I mean, Poland wasn't necessarily on my radar either, until I realized that my Uncle Pete came back, and Walter had this opportunity here for us. So who knows, right? Geez, yeah. Sorry, I just got me a little twisted there. Still trying to process the news that we may have to make a break in the night here. Yeah, sorry, I had to jump off there quickly. I got another phone call from Lek. Things are fast and furious right now. So no, it was basically he just wanted to follow up on the security fence talk. He's got a guy that can probably get out right away. He sort of specializes in, like, he said it won't be the fanciest thing, but it should go a little ways to to stopping anybody from accessing my yard. So he didn't think that he'd be able to get the person in there today though. So he said you might want to just keep an eye on things overnight and hopefully everything's good. But oh my God, it's crazy. I hadn't when I picked the phone up with him, I thought he was just going to say, oh yeah, buddy just wants to go for a beer, misunderstanding, kind of like how normal people are. But I didn't expect the threat of bodily harm and financial trauma in the form of all my crap getting stolen. I don't want to be get robbed and beaten, but it sounds like maybe that's what's coming for me if I don't do something here. And unfortunately, I'm somewhat powerless, being that I'm in a far off land of which I'm not even I don't have any status here. I probably shouldn't have invested so much money in this area where I'm not a resident. I don't have any immigration status. I just came here and started buying stuff and farming. But anyways, yeah, maybe in hindsight should have thought about all that in advance. But that's okay. You know what? It is what it is. Life's an adventure. These chapters tend to feel like mini-series. We should be good. So anyways, yeah, so we're going to just kind of enjoy the rest of our farming day here. And if anything else comes up, I guess it comes up. But we've got to get canola into the ground for hopefully our future consumption or selling benefit, if not somebody else's. But at least let's get that done. And then it's weird. The ground textures always weird me out here because I know that I just planted that section there that's you can see the two different ground textures, I guess is what I'm getting at. I've got canola in both these runs here, but yeah, look, now we're back to this dark texture. Come on, Farming Simulator, why do you do that to me? So I guess I got to kind of think about what I would take, and I don't mean to dwell on this whole issue here, but it is kind of top of mind right now. So I wonder what I would take, like, if I had to take, for my tractors, I definitely want to take the Fiat. It feels like it was such a score when we got it. It's looking its best and running its best right now. It would be a shame to have to leave that behind. I really like the Volvo, and I feel like that's something that should probably stick with us forever. But I mean, between the John Deere, the Fiat, and the little Volvo, I probably would just take the Fiat, I guess, if I had to, take one and leave the rest. Beyond that, I don't really know. I mean, I love the new baler that we got. So if I could take that with us, that'd be cool. I mean, I don't need things like, I guess, the wood chipper. All that stuff's probably replaceable. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that I would be sitting here trying to think of, trying to figure this kind of stuff out. But I mean, if I was making a break for it and Lek managed to find me a decent cab and trailer, then we may be able to pack a bunch of things on there. Obviously, it's got to be loaded properly. I mean, I can't remember what the drive was. We did the drive from Palanier to here already when we moved here. We stopped in to see my buddy there, the guy that owns the cheese store there. But yeah, I don't remember how far that drive was, but it wasn't short. I think it was 19 hours to get from where we were in Great Britain to here, and then it was a little out of our way to get to Palanier. But anyways, but I'm crossing countries if I remember correctly, each with their own probably set of rules, their own highway police and whatever. So I don't want to get myself in trouble with an unsafe load, but yeah, if he did manage to find me something decent, then that would be good. Preferably something used, obviously, because I don't want to invest in something, I don't want to dump a bunch of money into something that I don't really have a use for. But I'm thinking we're in reasonable financial shape. I think we owe Walter like, do we owe him like 80 grand? I think is what it was. So, by the time we had to kind of come up with a package deal for land, and perhaps whatever equipment is going to stay behind, then maybe we'll be in a spot where we can actually, look at what we can afford to, or how we can afford to set up shop somewhere else. I don't really know where I'd go, to be honest. And I mean, being able to take a little bit of time there in France, if that's what has to happen, is probably like a gift, really. Not having to make a jump decision, but we could go back to North America. We could continue our adventures in Europe. I hear Italy is nice this time of year. I don't think I ever want to become a winemaker, but maybe there's an opportunity, in a region in Europe. I hear what's that one area? Arturio. Maybe I'll just have that up on the screen while I'm butchering the name. I heard that's a beautiful region. Hilly, nice big fields, gorgeous history, a lot of nice stuff. I don't know. Sorry, my mind's not fully there now. Still trying to think about having to make a move. All right, so things are looking good there. Let's go get the sprayer. We'll get these sprayed, and then we gotta get these bales sold. Don't really have to, but I don't really want to leave a lot of stuff sitting around, to be honest with you, especially with the risk of them not being there in the morning. That's not cool. So sorry, and I didn't mention, but talking to Lek about putting a fence in, he's like, actually I told him, I said, look, man, it honestly doesn't really matter what it costs. I'm guessing it's going to be a couple grand really to put in, some chain link fence or whatever. But so I just said, as soon as that guy's available, you go ahead and get him set up. Guess am I losing my mind? I swear I thought that I had a sprayer specifically for herbicide, but yeah, maybe I'm losing it. Trying to get, I was able to sort of empty the first 1,000 liters of liquid fertilizer that's in here, but not the rest. So let's see. Oh, that's weird. So am I able to carry? I think I see what's going on. I think the arms have some capacity. They're holding about 200 liters of liquid fertilizer, but then the actual barrel there, or the container, is holding the herbicide. So okay, well, that's very interesting. Let's see what comes out when we go over here. I don't know how to control one versus the other, but I guess we're about to find out. This thing's been super handy. I would love to be able to take this with me if I was going somewhere. Okay, so I've got the sort of body of everything selected right now, but I don't see anything spraying. Sounds like a sprayer of some kind is turned on, and we are currently spraying for nothing, i.e. nothing is spraying. Oh, let's see this other field over here. Maybe what we're going to end up having to do is wait until wait until things start to grow and then spray. So I believe this is kind of a one-pass field anyways, so let's see if something comes out when we get ourselves lined up here. If not, I guess that's kind of all we got to worry about. Yeah, I think something's screwing me up because of that. Oh, something just came out. Well, it's definitely applying some material on the peripheries, but I don't see the... What the heck? How's that for a magic trick? I just pulled the arms right through that... right through that tower or whatever that is. Anyways, okay, who cares? All right, so this is not doing anything for us. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I mean, really with that sort of... I got to get those silage bales sold, but I think I'll just get that done, and then... I'm going to sit down with Lek tonight, and we're going to come up with, like my farming day here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is probably done. My brain is kind of on edge and scrambled and not necessarily focused, so I'll get the silage bale sold. I got to sit down with Lek, and we got to come up with some kind of a plan, I guess, to see if I am making an escape, how that's going to look. If I'm not, well then, I'm not. But But yeah, so in the next episode, we will likely be able to, we'll probably be into the next month, so we'll likely be able to mow. We got the small grass strip up here, so we'll probably be able to get that mowed. And then we'll hopefully be able to deal with like security fencing and stuff. And then, we'll hopefully also be able to spray those canola fields for any potential issues. But yeah, I guess on that note, what the hell, guys? We are in a bit of a spot here in Poland, but it's nothing that we can't overcome. The main thing is that we leave here in one piece with all of our body parts and with some semblance of financial integrity, and we got to get Walter paid off. So let's figure that out, and yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next one. Our adventure in Poland continues. All right, ciao.